The Associated Press is reporting that Fukushima is in trouble. So cancer rates are rising there. Fukushima is, of course, the place in Japan that had a recent nuclear meltdown. They report, quote, "A new study says children living near the Fukushima nuclear meltdowns have been diagnosed with thyroid cancer at a rate 20 to 50 times that of children elsewhere. A difference the authors contend undermines the government's position that more cases have been discovered in the area only because of stringent monitoring. Most of the 370,000 children in Fukushima have been given ultrasound checkups since the March 2011 meltdowns at the tsunami-ravaged Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. The most recent statistics released in August show that thyroid cancer is suspected or confirmed in 137 of those children, a number that rose by 25 from a year earlier. Elsewhere, the disease occurs in only about 1 or 2 of every million children per year." Okay, so that's the key fact there. That doesn't sound like a lot, right? 137 out of 370,000 children. But what it's supposed to be, the normal amount would be, occurs in 1 or 2 kids out of every million. They say Noriko Matsumoto, who's 53 years old, who used to work as a nurse in Fukushima outside the no-go zone, fled to Tokyo with her then 10-year-old daughter a few months after the disaster. She had initially shrugged off the fears, but got worried when her daughter started getting nosebleeds and rashes. Oh. See, this reminds me a lot of the debate around fracking and around all of the work really going on in oil and natural gas. I mean, there's examples in some parts of Canada where this is happening and people are getting sick and they're having to leave their homes. And my main point is, don't trust the government on this. You just can't. Because they're going to try to calm everybody down. They're going to try to act like there is no problem. They're going to try to keep the peace in that way. But hand in hand with that is the very real problem that everything's not okay. You know, I'm not a scientist, but you clearly don't need to be one to know that a nuclear meltdown is not a fucking good thing. We see what happened with Chernobyl. We see what happened with 3 Mile Island. Now, you can argue about the degree and the difference between the different meltdowns based on the degree and how big of a problem it was. That's obvious and that's a given. But they have a certain zone that's a no-go zone, essentially, because of the meltdown. And all I'm saying is if I'm in the first area that's closest to the no-go zone, so the first place where you're allowed to live, closest to Fukushima, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be there. And, the government, every step of the way, they were underselling how bad it was. I think they're still doing it now. This is just one example, and, I hate to see the other health effects that I think are almost certainly going to come down the road.